Test, test, test. You hearing it now? All right, very good. Test, 3, 2, 1. Test, test.
Chairman Hickman, if you are ready, we have started the broadcast.
Okay, very good. Thanks, Juanita. I appreciate it. Thanks for everyone being here today for this special meeting. I am out of state as a parent, so I would like to turn the meeting over to my Vice Chairman, Mr. Jack Sellers. So, Supervisor Sellers, if you can please take over the meeting.
Thank you, Clint. We do have one item here this morning. We're going to consider action regarding the Rio Verde foothills. Do any of my colleagues have comments they'd like to make on this?
Mr. Sellers, yes, I do, absolutely, if it's okay if I can speak now.
Yes, please go ahead, Supervisor Galvin.
Okay, so this is a process that I've been working on every single day since I got appointed concerning water service to the Rio Verde foothills area. There are two matters at question, a short-term plan and a long-term plan. And I'm very proud that the county worked with a private water company named EPCOR to deliver water to these folks for the long-term plan. All of the issues that we've been hearing about in the news over the last few months have just been over what is considered to be the short-term interim plan. I proposed a plan last year that EPCOR also be the company that would serve water to the Scottsdale standpipe, because I believe that is a win-win for everyone. Scottsdale did not want to serve water to the folks in the Rio Verde foothills. Fair enough. They wanted these folks to find an outside source of water. An outside source of water was found. EPCOR has said, yes, we would be able to supply water through the Scottsdale infrastructure until the new standpipe is constructed. And Scottsdale would be paid for that service. And I thought that was an elegant plan, an eminently sensible plan, an affordable plan, and would solve the issue that Scottsdale had. Unfortunately, over the last few months, Scottsdale has resisted that plan and has tried to come up with all different sorts of alternative solutions, but not once, even to this day, have they provided a new source of water that could be implemented for that short-term plan. So I have a video that I would like to start, Mr. Sellers, if that's okay. It concerns a TV interview that I did with CBS News last year to show that this is a national story that has received national attention. And unfortunately, I didn't think it'd have to get to that point. But CBS came here to do a story on the Rio Verde foothills water issue in Arizona overall. I asked our media team to put together the parts of this interview that concern the Rio Verde foothills. If you can play that, please.
The Colorado River system provides water to 40 million people across the West, from Denver to LA to Mexico. But after more than 2 decades of drought, water levels have reached historic lows, and competition for the remaining water between countries, between states, even between neighbors is growing fierce. Brooke Silva Braga traveled to one Arizona community that could lose access to the Colorado within weeks.
A regional water utility says it has a solution, but needs at least 2 years before it will be ready. So maybe Scottsdale will just keep the pipe open? Here's Scottsdale Mayor David Ortega.
Why not just let those few people keep the water for a little longer?
They should manage their own destiny with their own water. Right now, they are trucking water, burning diesel to supply themselves, which we do not support.
They're about to burn more diesel because they're going to have to truck it from farther away.
That's their problem.
This all takes us back to the tangled politics of Rio Verde. According to Maricopa County Supervisor Thomas Galvin, a temporary solution has been found. The utility company EPCOR could send water through Scottsdale's system for Rio Verde's use. The catch is Scottsdale needs to agree.
We just hope that Mayor Ortega can help these folks in a spirit of cooperation now that the solution has been found to facilitate it.
I am not equivocating. That's not going to happen.
Is there any solution that doesn't involve Scottsdale letting you use their standpipe?
At the moment, no. Okay, I think the message is clear. So let's talk about the timeline of this issue. I was appointed in December of 2021. The deadline was already announced before my appointment. Never publicly asked the city of Scottsdale to change that deadline, but did everything I can to endeavor to help these folks find a new source of water, because I represent not only the Rio Verde foothills and unincorporated areas, but I also represent the entire city of Scottsdale. So what I was doing here was trying to find what's best for Scottsdale and what's best for the Rio Verde foothills. This plan is unassailable. It is a source of water that's able to be delivered at a moment's notice. I've not heard one good argument of why these people should not get served water. And in fact, the notion is that we're all here because water got cut off to folks, and to me, that's an unacceptable situation. You do not cut off water to people, and you certainly do not cut off water to people if they tell you they found an outside source of water. And I suspect we'll hear some all sides today. I'm looking forward to hearing from public comment from folks, but this is what's been going on. Now, the city of Scottsdale, we've listened to them. We tried to work hard with them. I see myself as a facilitator and a mediator between the Rio Verde foothills and the city of Scottsdale. However, Scottsdale proposed a plan that the county did not negotiate. It was thrust upon us a few weeks ago with several deal points that are highly concerning. One, to this day, they still have not revealed a source of water. Two, they announced exorbitant rates that they have provided no justification. Three, they were going to cut off water access to people who are called self-haulers, and there's about 75 of those folks. And four, they put a limitation on the water, which would create a scarcity resource. But if there's a plan without water, then it's not a plan. So the EPCOR plan, to me, is a very good plan. It makes sense. It benefits Scottsdale, and there really are no other alternatives. Thank you.
Okay, some housekeeping. I'm going to ask our clerk to first call the roll so that we will know which supervisors are attending the meeting. And then we have a resolution that will be read. After the resolution is read, we will entertain comment from people here who want to speak. When you're allowed 2 minutes to speak, please give your name and your address, and you'll be limited to 2 minutes each. And then we will entertain a motion.
Do they have to fill out speaker cards?
Do you need speaker cards or?
Vice Chair Sellers, we do have speaker forms, and ladies right here have those forms.
Okay. If you'd like to speak, please fill out a speaker card, and then we will have the name and address available to us. Pardon? Okay. Yeah, please call the roll.
Thank you. Supervisor Gates is on the line.
Here.
Supervisor Galvin.
Here.
Vice Chair Sellers.
Here.
Supervisor Gallardo. It's remote. Thank you. And Chairman Hickman.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, clerk, if you would please read the resolution.
Resolution to solve Rio Verde foothills water supply issue. Whereas certain parts of unincorporated Maricopa County, such as Rio Verde foothills, rely on hauled water, and whereas the city of Scottsdale had provided water to residents of the Rio Verde foothills for decades up until January 1st, 2023, and whereas Scottsdale cutting off this service left many Rio Verde foothills residents lacking a reliable and continuous source of water for their homes and properties. And whereas Maricopa County has precedent for working with private water providers to successfully address supply issues in other unincorporated parts of Maricopa County. For example, Maricopa County and City of Phoenix worked with water service provider EPCOR to keep water running in New River until a permanent solution could be reached. And whereas Maricopa County believes a similar approach can solve the Rio Verde foothills water supply issue as follows. Since Maricopa County is not and has never been a water service provider, the best option is to have EPCOR provide water to Rio Verde foothills. EPCOR has gone on the record stating that it will pay Scottsdale to use its existing infrastructure and will provide EPCOR sourced water to Scottsdale to transport through its piping system. EPCOR would charge a knowable rate under a standpipe tariff that's been approved by the Arizona Corporation Commission. EPCOR sourced water will be treated to required standards and then be made available to water haulers for exclusive delivery to Rio Verde foothills residents. resulting in lower costs to residents, faster water delivery, and fewer layers of governmental involvement. And whereas Maricopa County's primary goal is to get water to Rio Verde Foothills residents in the most expedient and cost-effective manner possible. And whereas the City of Scottsdale has recognized its role in finding a solution to this ongoing and urgent problem. And whereas the City of Scottsdale proposed an intergovernmental agreement with Maricopa County whereby the county would pay for a new source of water and manage the delivery of that water through one of Scottsdale's standpipes. And whereas the proposed intergovernmental agreement is overly bureaucratic and unworkable for the following reasons. Scottsdale has not identified a new source of water. Scottsdale limits water distribution to a certain amount of acre-feet per year for Rio Verde Foothills residents, but the city would purchase many more acre-feet per year as part of the agreement that would not be available to Rio Verde Foothills residents. The acre-feet limit would likely create a rush to secure water in a haphazard and inefficient way. Scottsdale would significantly increase the rates that they are currently charging Rio Verde Foothills residents without documentation or justification. Scottsdale would only allow Maricopa County to sell water to commercial water haulers, creating additional costs for residents who currently haul their own water, many of which serve large properties that operate ranches and must care for animals. To date, commercial haulers have not adequately served the needs of these water users for multiple reasons, including capacity and delivery schedules. Scottsdale proposes to bar provision of water to any newly constructed Rio Verde Foothills homes, even though the county cannot implement a building moratorium under existing law, and even if such water is available within the proposed acre-foot limit. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Maricopa County rejects the City of Scottsdale's proposed intergovernmental agreement as impractical, inefficient, and overly burdensome for Rio Verde Foothills residents. Instead, Maricopa County urges the City of Scottsdale to immediately enter into negotiations with EPCOR for a short-term agreement that gets water to Rio Verde Foothills residents quickly and at a knowable rate, and allows the City of Scottsdale to keep all its water and get paid for the use of its standpipe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Supervisor Galvin, did you want to make any further comments before we call speakers up?
No, I don't. I just want to get the speaker slips.
Okay. Do we have? And since this is Supervisor Galvin's district, I'm going to allow him to call the speakers up. And again, I'll remind you, you have 2 minutes.
Okay, so do we have a timer so they know? Okay, thank you. So the speakers know. We have 4 speaker slips. I apologize. We have 4 speaker slips. I'm going to call your name and then call the other person after you so you know that you're next. So basically you're on deck. So the first speaker is Mr. John Hornauer. And she is your timer.
Okay, perfect, thank you. Hello, Supervisors. What I've heard here is a delay. We're at day 62. I understand you feel that your EPCOR solution is the best, but we're at day 62. I don't understand how we got here. When you proposed to the city, well, first off, when you denied the solution that we had, the solution that had it been put in place, the DWID, water would be flowing right now at an affordable rate. Scottsdale says they were blindsided by the county's decision to not approve the DWID. That indicates a significant lack of communication. You say you've been working on it every single day, then how is it possible that Scottsdale was blindsided in this? Scottsdale expected to work with a DWID. The community came up with a solution, and the solution was denied. You know, I want to give the benefit of the doubt to the best I can, but the reality of the suffering that's happening in the community is just, you can't deny it. When people have to slaughter their animals because of the water, increase in water bill, I mean, that doesn't just imply there's an issue. That is in your face. People are struggling. January 1st, I personally feel the city of Scottsdale, or the Board of Supervisors, had the obligation to ensure that the city kept the water on. And the fact that that didn't happen, in my opinion, to me is criminal. When I look at the Arizona Criminal Code, there's so many aspects of this that I can connect the dots. And again, I'm not an attorney, but there's so many aspects I can connect the dots that I can't help but feel criminal negligence in this. Please, please, please do not continue this any longer than absolutely necessary. Come up with a solution that Scottsdale will accept, even if you have to admit some degree of failure. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, and I will just comment here that, and I think we'll wait until we get through all the speakers, but because this is a posted item, the supervisor can respond to any specific questions that come up.
Karen Nabity, sorry, I forgot to say that you're on deck. And then after Karen Nabity, Doreen Hornauer. Thank you.
Okay, this is concerning. The Attorney General came back, and my understanding was, Supervisor Galvin, that you worked with Representative Cook and supported getting an Attorney General opinion. And Phil, you can correct me if I'm wrong afterwards, but the Attorney General came back and said Maricopa County has the right to, in this type of a situation, we are in an emergency situation, it is for the public health, to work with a public utility or a municipality. It did not say that Maricopa County has the right to force a municipality to work with a private utility. So when you're looking at that opinion from Chris Mays, it's very clear. The county has the right to stand up for their constituents and get it to the point where we are not without water. And so I am asking you, as our supervisor, you turn down the DWID that we would have had water. We have a short-term water supply, and that water supply is still available today to serve. So you turned that down. Now we're here, and the AG has made it so you could work with the city to serve water. County could buy it, city could buy it, whatever, but go to the table and work with them and work through those details that were mentioned, right? Like the property owners and the amount of water and various things and the cost. Work with that with the city, because we need a solution now, and we need you to stand up for us, your constituents. And then to imply that the city does not have the ability to buy additional water. People can go out right now and buy additional water. Problem is they can't serve it, but a city can. At Core, you can, and there are water sources available. So city's huge. Scottsdale is one of the best at dealing with water in the United States. So they can obtain water, just like Damon Bruns, who's a local resident who bought water and learned a hard lesson, and the DWID could have. So please step up and work with the city. And I'd also like to know why you're forcing the EPCOR solution so hard, and what is their water supply? Where are they going to get water from specifically to give to the city and those kind of things? But again, the city said they won't, and we need you to play ball with the city and save us.
Thank you. Ms. Hornauer. And after that, Cody Ream.
Hi, my name is Doreen Hornauer. I live at 35617 North 136th Street, and here we are again. Anyway, I'd like to say thank you for considering this special meeting and allowing us to speak. I didn't know if we were going to be able to speak, but what I can say is, in my opinion, the city has stepped up with an offer. And that offer is not the best offer, but it's an offer. And I think it would behoove our county representative, Mr. Galvin, and other county commissioners to definitely go to the table and negotiate. It's not my way or the highway. These are people's lives you're dealing with here. Okay, we need an answer. They're going to supply the water. They've said who they want to work with. They don't want to work with a big conglomerate, which it doesn't matter to me. We just want water. But at the same time, there's got to be a reason why EPCOR is being pushed, and we want to know. We know that they have deep pockets. We want to know. And we also know, just from conversations, they don't have a source yet. They don't have the long term. They don't have a short term. And if they can't get Scottsdale and Scottsdale doesn't want to work with them, why are we still bringing up that same opportunity that they don't want to entertain? I don't understand. I wish I could understand. It's very difficult to explain to these people when they call me and they need water and they can't afford it. And I'm kind of at a loss. So we really need your help to work with Scottsdale, please. And it is the closest municipality, okay?
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Ream.
Chairman, Supervisors, thank you for your time. Again, it's great to see you all and hear you on the waves here. I'm Cody Rhyme, and I live in Rio Verde Foothills. If you were one to want to profit off of someone's loss and someone's misfortune and distress that they're in, you would go with the Scottsdale plan. The amount of water that they're requesting is making the plan insurmountable and unattainable to perform. No one is going to want to sell Scottsdale 600 acre feet, knowing they're only going to give the hurt, dismayed residents of Rio Verde Foothills 126 acre feet each year for 2 years. That's unacceptable. Why would a city be allowed to profit off of the plight of thousands of residents in an area, in an unincorporated area of the county? The reason I believe that EPCOR would be the best mediator in this, the best provider, is because they can also handle the billing the best. The county, to my understanding, is not set up to bill directly to private individuals for the use of water. It's never been done before. EPCOR does that on a daily basis, and they are the professionals in the field. So they would handle that the best. All along, Scottsdale has said they wanted the county to be the provider, the overseers of our area, because the county is our direct representation in government. Yet their plan that they have proposed to you takes that right away from you at the front end to obtain the water for us. It only gives it back to you at the back end to charge the commercial haulers and only commercial haulers for the use of the water for the residents. That also is unacceptable. Like Supervisor Galvin said, there's approximately 75 people that would be very hurt, and if they were not able to haul water on their own, their prices would significantly increase. They've invested in infrastructure for themselves, for trailers, trucks, and that infrastructure is paying for itself at this time. But if they're not allowed to haul from the standpipe in Scottsdale under the Scottsdale plan, they will pay significantly more that they were not prepared to do so. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, everyone. And Mr. Sellers, those are all the speakers, and Mr. Rhyme, thank you. I just want to address some of the points that were brought up. I think they were very fair and good points, and I just want to say that all four of the people who spoke are people that I know because they've been intimately involved in this issue, and they know it more than anyone. And as you can see, even though they disagree, they are neighbors. I'm not forcing anything. I'm not pushing anything. We are not pushing anything. This is a statement of support for all of you folks. I didn't come up with the idea of EPCOR. EPCOR raised their hand and said we can serve. And not one other entity has said that they can do that. Not a tribe, not another private water company, not another municipality. So you want to talk about 62 days? There should have been 0 days of this issue because that company stepped up last year in 2022 and told the city of Scottsdale, we can serve these folks, we can have a deal in place before your deadline of December 31. There are emails between the city of Scottsdale council members and staff discussing the plan, and the mayor, David Ortega, killed it for no reason. First of all, it's bad to cut water off from people because they're now put in this situation. And secondly, to block a plan where someone says we can provide water to these folks, that is a problem. And three, even if the county approved that taxing district, which was opposed by the majority, the vast majority of the Rio Verde Foothills residents, I don't think that we would have seen David Ortega playing ball with them either, because you saw in that interview that he was complaining about trucks going back and forth, rumbling across these roads in the Rio Verde Foothills. If you're going to cut off water for these folks, and then they come to you and say they found an outside source of water, be a good neighbor, be a good public servant, be a good human being, because cutting off water is absolutely atrocious, and it's a black mark in the history of Arizona, and I've done everything I can to push a plan where these people get water right now. And we have negotiated them, we have talked to them, we have asked them, where is the water? No answer. Why are you cutting off 75 people anyway? No answer. Why are you raising the rates? No answer. Why are you limiting the amount of water they can get? No answer. It's ridiculous. Time is up. It's up. The county has done everything it can. If they want to help these folks, we will be the first ones to applaud, and we'll be the first ones to congratulate them, because these people were hurt for no reason at all whatsoever. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor. Any comments or questions from our other supervisors? Yes.
I actually think staff can answer that, because staff has, we've heard a lot of different things, but I think staff can help boil it down. So Jen, if you wouldn't mind helping answer Mr. Gallardo's question.
Sure, Vice Chairman, members of the board. We did reach out to Scottsdale to try to understand what their issues were with EPCOR, and they never gave us a clear answer. They mentioned that there was some concerns that it would be in conflict with their drought management plan. I reviewed their drought management plan, and I did not see anything in particular that would prevent them from entering into an agreement with a private water company, but they haven't given me a specific citation within that drought management plan to say where it exists that they can't enter into an agreement with EPCOR.
Thank you.
So Mr. Chairman, Mr. Vice Chairman, if Scottsdale has a personal beef, whatever that is, with EPCOR, what is their solution? Has they stated what their solution would be?
They haven't had a solution, Mr. Gallardo. They did present these deal points 10 days ago that we were not made aware of until it was issued in a press release. The same day that they voted on this item, I sent them a letter to the mayor, to the city council. I CC'd the city attorney, I CC'd the city manager. I asked them those 4 deal points that I found to be problematic, and asked them why we haven't gotten any information on that. And to this day, Mr. Gallardo, they have not responded to the letter or not addressed those concerns that you heard also spoken by Mr. Rhyme just now.
And Mr. Chairman, I once again thank the supervisor for his work on this. I can tell you, Mr. Chairman, I mean, I've been an elected official for over 20 years, not, on an elementary school board, high school, the House, the Senate, in Maricopa County. Anytime you have issues such as this, something that is so critical like water, the best thing is for everyone to put their heads together and come up with a natural solution that works. For whatever reason, Scottsdale has a beef with EPCOR. I don't know what that is. It seems like it's a mystery, maybe a personal beef. At the end of the day, the people of Rio Verde need water. And whatever the beef is that the mayor and the city have with EPCOR, they need to get over it. This thing can be resolved now. We can have water moving to this community now. If the mayor would get off his little high horse and stop fighting with that court and come up with an agreement that they can be able to start servicing these people. So, I share the frustration, and I know the supervisor has been engaged in this a lot more than I have. This is his district. And I can even hear in his tone of his voice, I know Supervisor Galvin well, and you can hear the frustration, and it's unfortunate. We shouldn't be in this situation. It's sad that we're put in this place where, for whatever reason, the mayor has to be with that court, doesn't want to cooperate or work with him or work with the company. Nonetheless, we need to do something now, and I would hope that Scottsdale will step up, be a leader in this particular dilemma, come up with an agreement that everyone can deal with and work with that court in the county, and let's get this resolved. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Supervisor Gallardo. Any other comments, questions? Any other supervisors? Yeah, go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, I would echo Supervisor Gallardo's comment. Thank you, Supervisor Galvin, for your tireless leadership on this issue. And, it's really interesting to me how similar the situation is that you're facing in Rio Verde is the one that I faced in my district a few years ago that impacted New River and Desert Hills. And very similar there, the city of Phoenix decided to no longer haul city water to those areas of my district. And I reached out to EPCOR just like you have, and they've been a great partner. They've agreed to provide water, and they are providing water and infrastructure up in New River. But that was just one piece of the situation. Just as important for me back then, we had the city of Phoenix stand up and do the right thing. They kept the water onto New River, even though they said they weren't going to provide water anymore. But when they saw the efforts being made, they agreed to continue to provide water to the people of New River and Desert Hills until EPCOR could take over. So I'm very proud of the partnership we have in place already between Maricopa County and EPCOR up in my district. And it takes, as has been said already, everybody working together. And the key player who's not working with us right now is the city of Scottsdale. But they have the ability to do that. And thank you, Supervisor Galvin, for all your work to get this done.
Thank you, Supervisor Gates. Chairman Hickman, are you on?
Yeah, thank you. First of all, we have been through this before. We were able to watch Supervisor Gates. I'm glad he touched on that. We were able to witness Supervisor Gates bring a tough situation about water in his district to a really nice conclusion. I think the same ability exists here. As long as we have municipalities, water companies, and Maricopa County helping these residents. So I've got to remind everybody, as Supervisor Gallardo said, he's 60 miles away from this, but he has communities that are on hauled water. District 4 has communities that are on hauled water, but thus far, all of us working together bring great solutions. So I just want to say to Supervisor Galvin, what a wonderful job he's done. I've been here for close to a decade. This Rio Verde issue has come up to our board, finally to a vote in his supervisory capacity. He led well all the way up to the vote. He heard what everyone had to say about it, and we participated in a vote, just like today. If there's anything I can help with the mayor of the city of Scottsdale, I'd be happy to do that in my role as chairman, as he knows. I want to thank Supervisor Galvin for his passion. He has worked this issue people might not realize it in that area, but this has been the forefront issue facing him as an appointed supervisor and as an elected supervisor. He has thrown himself at trying to bring a solution. Whatever solution the Maricopa County supervisors can help with, that's a good solution. That solution or that agreement that I saw in writing from the city of Scottsdale is no agreement at all. Charges more for water, and that's just the economic issue. So just to add that is something I cannot explain in my district. So, and Maricopa County is not in the water business. We don't have water households. We don't have any of these types of agreements that cities do. So I would have to say my continued support for the Rio Verde residents and my support to Supervisor Galvin as he hopefully brings us home and we can get people water before the summer. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chairman Hickman. And I'll just add that, you know, we had an issue developing in this area long before Supervisor Galvin became a supervisor. And he hit the ground running, trying to find a solution to this problem from day one when he got on our board. So thank you for that, and thank you for your dedication to trying to finally get a resolution to this issue. That being said, I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Sellers, I make a motion to approve this draft resolution. I would like to make a comment on my vote.
Okay, we have a motion to adopt the resolution. Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a second from Supervisor Gates. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye, and I'd like to make a comment.
Okay, please.
Okay. I really want to appreciate the 4 folks that came down here to speak. And I'm sure there's many people up in the Rio Verde foothills, since it's so far away, who are watching. Everything I have done, everything I have worked on is to help you with all good motives, to help you out of this situation that you've been thrust into through no fault of your own, through no fault of your own. There was a proposed taxing district that I took, and I considered it, and I weighed the merits of that case. And I told the city of Scottsdale that even if we don't approve it, that we're going to make sure we're going to help these folks find a long-term solution. And I'm very proud to work with the following elected officials who have been fantastic to work with on this issue, starting with Governor Hobbs's office, Attorney General Mays's office, Representative David Cook, who's been integral, and Representative Kavanaugh, Senator Kavanaugh. And as you can see, that is a bipartisan group. These are people to the right and to the left of our political spectrum, but all of them have taken this issue seriously, as well as the Arizona Corporation Commission, a statewide elected body of 5 folks, regardless of politics, Republican or Democrat. They've all taken this issue seriously. But what we're all sick of are publicity stunts from David Ortega or false information from Scottsdale Mayor David Ortega, and the inability to help these folks find a source of water, and to then for David Ortega to block that source of water. You just heard all of the elected officials who have been able to work on this, but most of all, I want to thank the county staff who have been working on this, who take this issue seriously. Even though the county does not have water rights, is not a water utility, is not a water provider, has done everything it can, bending over backwards to see which way we can do this situation. It didn't have to be a Rubik's Cube. It didn't have to be that. The solution is right there in front of all of us, and unfortunately, David Ortega has embarrassed us on the national stage, and I'm not going to stand for it. I'm very proud of this draft resolution because it's an expression of support for you folks, but it's also an expression of support for the people of the city of Scottsdale who've been let down by this lack of leadership by this mayor. Thank you. And I vote aye.
Thank you. The resolution passes unanimously, and I'm very pleased to see this board supporting a pragmatic solution to a growing problem throughout Maricopa County. Using existing entities already in the business of supplying water to solve a water problem seems like a sensible solution for the Rio Verde area and any other area being impacted by water shortages. I just hope we can move forward and not play politics with an essential and scarce resource. Thank you. The meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, Mr.